Hello, my name is Maria Bezubova and you're at my channel Fertilizers Jazz. Here we talk about events, trends, technologies in the world of fertilizers and agriculture. Please subscribe to the channel, put like to this video, and let's jazz! Today I'm thrilled to reveal you the new topic that is extremely important for all the industries that trade their products globally, shipping topic. And I'm glad to host a very interesting guest who will share his over than 25 years experience in shipping with us, Gennadiy Ivanov, co-founder and general manager of BPG Shipping. I am delighted to welcome you, Gennadiy, and thank you very much for joining me today.
Yeah, good day, Maria. Good day, all subscribers. Nice to be here.
BPG Shipping is a dry bulk shipping company, and of course you will tell more about the company itself and its services later today. The only thing which I'm very glad to mention in the beginning of our interview, that this large international well-known business is rooted from Ukraine, from Odessa. And myself, being Ukrainian, I'm always happy to show to the global community how many great successful businesses are born here in Ukraine, operate in Ukraine despite the war, and how many great people come from here. So welcome again. Shipping is definitely the circulatory system for the global trade. Not only in fertilizers, of course, for all industries, and in the world which becomes more and more global every year. So I'm very much excited to have an opportunity today to discuss with you current situation in the shipping industry, challenges that it goes through now, obviously, what it means for us, for fertilizer shipping, for operators from our industry, and what do you expect from 2024, from, let's say, the rest of 2024.
Yeah, thank you, Maria. Yeah, as Maria introduced me, my name is Gennadiy. I'm director of BPG Shipping. Basically, just to be a very short introduction why I'm here and have some opportunity to share some information, some knowledge. We are on the market more than 20 years. Yeah, we are Ukrainian company. Actually, we are dry bulk operator and. Let's say Ukraine before the war considered quite high level of ship management. On our peak, we controlled Ukrainian shipping controlled more than 500 vessels, which means it's even more than Black Sea shipping company. And I hope after the war, now we are still alive. We continue to do our business, also not only worldwide, but of course ex-Ukraine. It's through Grain Corridor, and after the war, I'm sure the Ukraine business will get the good impact. We will continue to do our development. So regarding the market, basically, a market at any particular point in the world it's a ratio of supply and demand. So when we're talking about the freight, it's mainly we are talking about supply and demand. In order to discuss 2024, I would like to just touch 2023 because it was quite interesting year in terms of the freight. Basically, shipping market generally is a cycle market. So, like economy, we have the cycles in the economy, we have cycles in the shipping. The biggest cycle we can remember in 2008 when it was the crash of the market, collapse of the market. We heard a lot about Lehman Brothers, who was the trigger for this collapse. But of course, if you touch the shipping was suffered a lot because being on the top on the 2028, I remember very well this when we had Baltic Dry Index in May 2028 about 13,000 points. In November it was about 300, 400, so it was on the bottom level, and it was quite painful for owners, for investors, because I remember very well the times everybody was sure that market will go up like a rocket, and it was. Most of market players paid much less attention to risk management, to counterparty risk management. So it was a good experience for myself. I was working in one of such company who unfortunately left the market, and I was employee at the time. But for me, it was experience for all my life about risk management. What we do in BPG Shipping, we were quite concerned about this. So 2008 it was peak of the market, then market collapsed, and but how cycles works for ship owners? When market is good, they get good profit, then they reinvest to the shipping. So at the times of good profit, ship owners place the orders to shipyards, and in some period of time, these new buildings enters the market and increase the supply of the tonnage, and freight rates go down. So during period 2006-2008, when freight rates were on the peak, ship owners placed a lot of new orders, and it's very important to know that nobody can say there is no some group, some community which is let's say agree to each other. Okay, we don't let's not put much. Everybody has own strategy, especially in dry bulk. In tankers, containers is less segregated, but in dry bulk, so many owners. We have so many owners with 1-2 vessels. Everybody has own strategy. So they placed a lot of vessels, and by 2016 it was a bottom when the freight rates were hardly met the operation cost of the vessel. So the time were very bad for ship owners, but ship owners, they know, especially we have very good connection to Greek ship owning community, which is one of the best. They control about 30 vessels, so 30% of the whole fleet in the world. It's very good experience we can take from them. That despite of the cycles, of the current market conditions, they know that sooner or later market will change. So on the bottom of cycles, they can expect next cycle, which is again get their vessel amortized, and they get let's say marginal profit, good profit margin for them. So 2016 was a bottom, and gradually market started to grow up, and but then COVID appeared, Black Swan. COVID appeared, and market dropped a lot. But 2021, due to supply chain were broken, due to postponed demand, suddenly, unexpectedly, market mid of 2021 started to boom, and it was amazing boom, amazing time for ship owners. For example, in February 2021, the cost of daily hire for some Supramax was 10,000 per day, but in June it was already 40,000 per day. So a lot of owners who entered the ship S&P market, sale purchase market end of 2020, they enjoyed the market. So they amortized the vessel within 1-2 years, which is again, it's somehow a unique case for shipping. Yeah, so you can. On the bottom of the cycle, you can cry, you can say, "Oh, everything is very bad," but big ship owners, especially, they know that sooner or later it will be good times for shipping. So 2021 is we finally market started to grow up. It was a good impact on the market, also since this was the sentiments of owners. And 2022 it was expected very good year for ship owners, and the trend was upward. But unfortunately, war started, and it's changed a lot the situation generally for redirected the export corridors. For example, from Black Sea, it was especially for Ukraine, it was suspended fully export, and traders started to try to find the origins of grain from other sources. And it means they increased the ton miles, the demand for tonnage was increased. So basically, this situation from one side negatively affected the trading market generally, but from the other side, it was quite, especially first half of 2022, it was quite positive impact because of increase in ton miles. It means you had to utilize more vessels for carry the cargo because of change of trading routes. 2023, it was quite the global demand, seaborne trade was increased about 5.5%. The supply of tonnage was increased about 2.5%. So basically, market was more or less stabilized, but for quite healthy levels for the owners in general. Healthy levels means owners, the freight rates are quite enough to also to sort the bank loans as well. So daily operation cost plus bank load were still on the level, let's say, below break even, which is quite okay for owners. And in Q3 2023, we faced this situation, very, let's say, unusual situation with the Panama Channel. So because of decreased draft in Panama Channel, most of the vessels, a lot of vessels started to deviate, and it's again increased the ton miles, and which resulted quite high rates in Q3. Again, owners enjoyed, everybody enjoyed, except of course the traders who took position and which could maybe with unhedged open position, not covered position, and actually it was quite unpredictable, let's say. And also it was supported by congestion in Brazil. Also, it was supported by congestion in South Africa, congestion in Indonesia with coal, because Q3, Q4, it was traditional increasing of export of coal to import to China, export from Indonesia to South Africa, and all this resulted to the quite high rates for Q3 and end of 2023. So for 2024, what we have now, I think it's the first time after 2008 when we got the the supply. It means tonnage supply of new buildings, a number of vessels on the market meets the demand. So this 2024 is expected the supply will grow up 2.5%, and the demand accordingly will also seaborne trade will be the level of 2.5%, which means they will match, and right now we have again the rates are very healthy for the ship owners. It's a little bit higher generally than 2023, and the forecast is same level will be maintained till 2024. And the big question mark, what will be the 2025 in terms of supply, because after in 2023 it was quite a big boom for placing of orders for containers, for tankers, and for dry bulk it was less new buildings were placed orders, and just only also because of the capacity of eastern shipyards is limited. And also there are IMO requirements in terms of emissions and so on. So some owners, they place new orders, some owners still waiting for the final, let's say, pre-final version of requirements to the vessel, just to avoid after, let's say, a couple of years vessel afloat again to go to dry dock and change the equipment, and so like they had to do this, for example, with scrubbers in 2019, 2020, when it was a change from high sulfur content bunker with fuel with high sulfur content to low sulfur content. So of course we should consider in 2024 the problem, the crisis of Red Sea. It's especially after recent very disastrous cases with two vessels. One vessel is Panamax of our very close owners, Valent. We are fixing a lot with them. We know them very well. It's very, let's say, A1 owner. It's a real disaster, and also one crew member that. So we talk to owners, and some owners which could still consider Red Sea now again think twice whether they send their vessels there or not. As an official statistic, for example, the number of dry bulk vessels which were crossing Red Sea, Suez and Red Sea in December, it were about 740. Now we have in May about 320. So we can see 2 times less number of vessels which are crossing Red Sea, and this statistic was before these two disasters. So we can expect less reducing, and again this situation will support the freight rate, because due to navigation, due to deviation through the Cape of Good Hope, the ton of miles will be increased. So let's say first half of 2024 was quite healthy for owners. And the same without a crop or start of crop in the Black Sea, which is supposed to be the exports resumed since mid of July. Also, we just started export in Argentina. We expect export from Europe. In September, traditionally, we will start export from US Gulf. So second half of 2024, we expect quite on the quite again healthy level for the owners, unless some black swan appear. So we should
I see. You mentioned already the security risks, which unfortunately, we live in the less and less secured world now. How shipping industry reacts to the security risk, apart from, diverting the vessels, and which additional burdens it puts on the customers? For example, maybe we need as customers to pay some special insurance on top of the usual one, or maybe there are some other things that needs to be done.
So regarding insurance, yes, insurance rates were increased. For example, the average cost for transit of Gulf of Aden before this crisis was about 25,000. It's one-time payment. It covers also security guards, insurance, can rest some insurance, everything. Now it's about 70-80K. Per vessel, but again, it depends on how machinery. So, but the average level about 80,000, and this level was before this two disasters. So we need to double check the level of insurance. I think it will be increased. But again, this particular case, you cannot adjust the situation by just increasing the insurance, because it's somehow probability of physical damage of the vessel, and even if you put 100 insurance, you cannot avoid this attacks of hussies. So, and also it affects not only vessels, affects the lives of the seafarers, and as per contract, seafarers can refuse to transit. So we don't know how it will be resolved, but definitely there will be less owners and less vessels which would be ready to accept transit through Red Sea, and definitely will be less seafarers to accept and agree to stay on board during the transit.
Sure. Coming back to the costs of shipment, I know that BPG is dry bulk, but still would like to ask your opinion about container segment, because recently we saw a huge pace of growth in prices for container shipments, and seems like the ceiling is not there yet. So what is your opinion? What do you think? At which point this growth will stop, if it will, later this year? And in general, how do you see this segment?
I'm not expert for containers segment. Actually, it's both shipping, but it's not linked. But I can tell that 2021 it was surprisingly linked when freights for containers rose so high, so fast, and some containers cargo started to deviate to dry bulk. And also this factor also has boosted the dry bulk even more. So what will happen now? Nowadays we see dry bulk rates quite on the high level, especially also from China, from Far East traditional export area. And we can see containers freight is going up. I can say this just if you check the prices of shares of some big container lines. For example, for ZIM, it's doubled for the last couple of months. It means the investors are quite positive about the return. It means high freight rates. But again, for containers, it's a huge issue to debate by Cape of Good Hope. It's the main factor which affects the container freight. Until Red Sea crisis will be not solved, I don't expect the freight rates will back to let's say to normal one, unless we get a lot of new buildings which will be floated, go to the water. But I don't have such statistics. I can tell you about dry bulk, but for containers it's a little bit different market.
I see. I see. Moving to the fertilizers, maybe you can share a couple of figures. How important is fertilizers for shipping industry, let's say? So, because of course, most of our cargoes, they travel with long distances, large vessels, and also small distances, small vessels, of course. So we are very, very global industry in this respect.
Yeah, definitely. There are areas which are export oriented for the grain. For example, Argentina, yeah, and Brazil, and there is huge supply of fertilizers to that areas. And fertilizers, it's except. Okay, there are again such areas which consume fertilizers, and vessels which delivers these fertilizers. It's good cargo to justify the ballasting. For example, to get vessel to Argentina or Brazil in ballast, or with cargo on board. And if you don't have cargo on board, there is big probability, except fertilizer, you can find some fertilizers to come there with fertilizers. So this basically fertilizer, of course, is one of the biggest. It's a part of minor bulks. You know, the all dry bulk is divided for major bulks: is grain, coal, and iron ore, and the rest dry bulk cargoes are on the group of minor bulks. And fertilizer, one of the biggest share of minor bulks of the minor bulk group. And yeah, we as BPG, we actively carry. We work with, for example, with OCP from Morocco for rock phosphates quite often. So yeah, it's very important cargo for the industry.
I see. So let's now move to the technologies a bit and discuss new technologies entering shipping industry. Green revolution touches fertilizer industry very significantly, starts to be a very important factor for our industry. And as per my understanding, it also is an important factor, starts to be an important factor for the shipping industry as well. So decreasing carbon footprint for shipping is extremely hot topic and extremely important because shipping is quite a significant emissioner. So how do you see the future of those green technologies entering the industry? For example, one of these examples that I know, Yara launched this first green ammonia container ship. And do you think that this technology is viable? Will it develop? So what is your opinion about that?
For sure, the question of emissions is number one topic on any shipping conference. And in recent Posidonia, one of the biggest maritime exhibition in the world, which was in Greece here. On the exhibition, you can find a lot of construction equipment which are linked to and to decrease the emissions. I recently visited one interesting conference arranged by Freight Invest Service, and I just to avoid talk too much, I just show you this forecast for the alternative fuels. For example, here it's by 2023 we still expect 80% of fuel, which is like traditional, like fuel oil. But 8% we expect biofuels, 6% ammonia, 4% hydrogen, and the rest is methanol. You see the difference in by 2035. Well, it's expectation, it's a forecast.
Yeah.
As to the current situation, what we have now? Now we have less than one ship powered by alternative fuels today. But 2015 we had a zero. Now we have 2024 we have 715 vessels. Yeah, which are already using alternative fuel. And out of this, we can see that most of the vessel is container ships. Then we have car carriers, then we have crude tankers, the oil chemical tankers. On bulk carriers, we have only 73 vessels, which are using mostly LNG. Yes, LNG, a little bit methanol, and a little bit ammonia. So we can say that nobody knows what will be the situation in 5-7 years, but we can say the trend is like that. Trend is like that, to have some to have on the board of the vessels, like in the car we have hybrid for ships. I think, again, I'm not expert in this field. I expect that in the future will be, let's say, two types of bunker. Let's say fuel oil and one type of alternative oil, like ammonia, for example. I've seen on Posidonia some examples of such engines. So it's already been produced by Japanese, for example. So I think it's the future, because shipping industry, as per official data, they produce only 3% of global emissions. So despite on the fact that about 90% of all goods in the world have been carried by sea, shipping segment producing only 3%, but only it's a very relative number, of course. It's and the shipping industry now working hard to reduce the amount of emissions. Of course, it should be somehow, in my opinion, it should be somehow be equal all over the world. Not like, for example, Europe is very strict, but for example, in East, new mines, coal mines are all being opened. So it should somehow distribute more through the world, because it affects on competitiveness. For example, if Europe they implement this so-called emission tax, which ship owners should pay, at the end of the day, this tax is being transferred to the freight, which means on the end customers. So I expect in the future will be more strict rules through the world for these emissions, but somebody should start. So Europe started, they showed the example, but we will see how it will go.
Exactly. That is exactly the same that happens in fertilizer industry, because of course customers have to pay significantly higher price for the green product. But we see more and more in first of all developed countries, which is then moving further to other countries, that it is customer led. More and more customers are looking into that. So I think yes, definitely it is the future, and it will grow. So thank you very much, and I would like now to ask you to tell a bit more about BPG Shipping, what you do and what services you provide, so that everyone knows your company better.
Yeah, so we are traditional dry bulk operators. As in our daily activity, let's say we create a portfolio of cargoes, of tonnage, and hedging tools. So we operate globally. We have quite experienced staff. Some of guys we are together since 2006, and we traditionally work worldwide. Even of course we focused on Ukrainian cargoes, on Black Sea cargoes. When war started, we were quite diversified, so we switched to other areas. Also, we have experience to work in some let's say hotspots. For example, last 12 years, we not exclusively, but we did quite a big volume to Yemen, to the grain to Yemen. And so we have good experience with ship owners who can call such, let's say, risky areas. And that's why when grain corridor started ex-Ukraine, we already were ready. We already had owners who could trust us. And we entered about 5th or 6th, our vessel was 5th or 6th in a new grain corridor in September 2023, which is called Ukraine. Before the war, we started the procedure of establishment office in Greece in partnership with Greek owners. The main idea was to create some kind of bridge between potential Ukrainian investors who would like to invest into shipping to become a ship owner, and but not to invent the wheel, yeah, but not to get some mistakes which already could be avoided, yeah. So just to use the experience of Greek industry, which is already more than 50 years, quite successful. And to speed up the process, because in Ukraine we have very good experience in shipping, how to manage the vessels. As I mentioned, on the peak we manage more than 500 vessels. It's up to handy, up to big vessels, cape sizes. We have very good reputation in the world. In Ukraine we have at least 5-6 companies which are past compliance all over the world. They got access to financial tools, like I can tell about ourselves. We have access to financial loans, so which could be combined with investors funds. And the main thing, we have experience. Why is not everybody can do this? Because it's a matter of experience. Shipping is a matter of experience, and you cannot just create the company and manage the vessels. It's a lot of every day you learn because every day you face with some new circumstances. So basically, with our experience, also with experience of Greek shipping industry. As I mentioned, we have office in Greece with partnership with Greek owner with 30 years experience. We offer to the potential investors the right way to invest in the shipping. And in Greece, there is a famous shipping law which has zero corporate tax. And why Greek supports this since it was 78 or 90 years, it was created like 25 years ago, and it cannot be changed. It can be changed only via voting, which is not possible because Greece is based as shipping country. And by having such strong lobby in shipping in the country, like shipping lobby, this lobby can positively influence on the government. And all these factors can speed up the further development of the country, because in Greece, all money owners earn, most of them they reinvest into new buildings, new ships, and they keep the companies in the country. They feed, let's say, banker in the bank industry. So imagine all this huge volume of transactions are done by Greek banks, not by Dubai banks or by other banks. And it's I can say that shipping could be very big boost for Ukrainian economy, provided Ukraine adopt the rules, the bank system, the bank system to the shipping. In this case, but by that time this process could be developed in simultaneously way. From one side, the ship owners are being created, they invest in the shipping, and then they start to influence to the rules and bank system. Because without such push, I doubt that Ukraine will change it. It's not how to say, it's not short distance plans, but at least there is possibility. So from our side, we offer such option to people who would like to, companies who would like to invest in the shipping right way. So this is one of our activity. But of course, our main activity is commercial management, also technical management in cooperation with Greek owners. We have also fleet under our full management. So we are open to discuss all these possibilities and give the guide to the freight. Of course, for the cargos ex Ukraine, for the new grain season, last grain season we established once again our name on the market as one of the reliable carriers. And let's continue. I hope this year Ukraine will be able to export without troubles, and the grain corridor is working, everything is working, and I hope it will continue.
Indeed. We hope very much that this year will be better than the last one, and of course that we will win the war very soon, and all these developments that you mentioned will really be ongoing here. So I want to thank you very, very much, Gennadiy, for this super insightful discussion, and I wish you and BPG Shipping a lot of success. Grow as planned, beyond than that, and of course I will be happy to see you again at Fertilizers Jazz. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Please let me know in the comments if you think that shipment topic needs to become a regular one on Fertilizers Jazz. I will be more than happy to continue following it for you together with Gennadiy and BPG Shipping. Please subscribe to the channel, put like to this video, push the bell in order not to miss any updates, and see you soon.